Hi there, I'm Mrs. Ford and I'm going to be your dietitian today. It's nice to meet you. What brings you to see me today? Well, I went to see my psychiatrist and she recommended that I see a dietitian after I was diagnosed with bulimia nervosa. So I scheduled an appointment to come see you. Well, I'm definitely glad you came to see me today. This is something that I can try and help you with, in addition to the treatment you're going to be receiving from your psychiatrist. Now, how about you tell me a little bit about yourself? Well, my name is Rosie, and I'm 19 years old. I didn't start having trouble with my weight until I reached high school, and I started to take medicine for my depression and anxiety. I started to gain weight, and my mom, who was worried about me, started to try and put me on a lot of diets, but I just felt hungry all the time. So when I moved out to go to college, I feel like I just started eating everything in sight, and eventually I gained so much weight that I started to try and make myself throw up when I ate. That definitely sounds like a hard thing to go through. Now let me make sure that I heard you correctly. You didn't have weight problems until you started taking your medicine for depression and anxiety in high school, and you think that maybe the diets you went on helped you become, let's see, how did you say it? You were hungry all the time, so when you left you feel like you overcompensated. Is that right? Yes, that sounds right. But I finally decided to go see my doctor again because my depression was getting worse and I just felt tired and sick all the time. Yeah, feeling tired is definitely a symptom of your bulimia, but hopefully with treatment we'll help you get over it and you'll be back to being vibrant and full of energy. Now, since you contacted your psychiatrist, would you say that you feel like you're pretty open to change? Yes, I'm really tired of feeling the way I do. I'm a little scared because I know it's going to be hard, but I think I really am ready to change. That's great to hear. I do have a few suggestions if you're interested. Oh yes, I would definitely love to hear what you have to say. Well, a big thing that can help with your bulimia is if you eat regular meals and snacks so that you don't get too hungry. A lot of times, if you try to restrict yourself from eating, you end up feeling like you're starving, and then you end up binge eating. Does that sound like something that might apply to you? Yes, that does sound like something I would do. When I started gaining weight, I thought that if I didn't eat very much, it would help me go back to the size I was before. But instead, I would just end up eating everything in sight later that night. So, what I suggest is, since you have trouble with keeping your eating on a regular schedule, is that I give you a meal plan that just gives you kind of a flexible set of options so that you can eat, breakfast, lunch, and dinner with a few snacks in between. Does that sound like something you can do? Well, I'm not really used to eating like that, but I'm willing to give it a try if you think it'll help. I really do think it will help. And right now, I don't really want you to worry about losing weight, even though I know you said that you feel like you've been gaining a lot. When we focus on getting your healthy eating habits back together, eating regularly, and reducing the binging and purging activities, then that's when you can start thinking about maybe losing a little weight if you still need to. But a lot of times, when you get back on a regular eating schedule, it helps you get your calories back on track too. Okay, I guess I can do that, although I really do hate feeling as fat as I do. I can understand that, and I know it must be hard. What I'm hearing you say is that you're willing to try the scheduled eating, and you're still a little worried about losing weight, even though you need to focus on your eating disorder first. Is that right? Yes, I would say that's correct. But if you think that I should try to stop worrying about weight right now, I'll do my best, although it's going to be really hard. One thing that might help, if I can suggest something, is that you try not to weigh yourself, or if you do, only do it once a week. That way you don't have to worry about the way your weight will fluctuate during the day, which can be stressful for some people. Does that sound like something that could help? Yes, I do tend to weigh myself a lot and obsess over the number. If I cut down on the number of times I weighed myself, it would probably take a lot of stress out of my life. I'm glad to hear that. Do you have any suggestions that you think might help? Well, when I went to college, I didn't really make many friends, so I spent a lot of time by myself in my apartment just eating. I think it might help if I got out and got into some more activities so that I wouldn't be around food quite as much. Do you think that would be helpful? I think that's an excellent idea. I definitely think that getting out and getting involved in more activities would be a wonderful idea and would definitely help you take your mind off your food and weight worries that you have at the moment. Now, I'm going to give you a meal plan with suggested foods and snacks, but the most important part is to focus on the times you eat and not to skip meals. And then when I schedule you back, we'll talk about how well you did eating on that schedule and if you think that it helped you or not. Does that sound good to you? Yes, I will try to eat on the schedule, even though I'm sure it will take some time for me to get used to it. But I'll definitely come back and see you and hopefully continue to work on my issues with my bulimia. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm glad that you came to me, and I will definitely work with you and your psychiatrist to help you get your eating disorder under control.